And we're good. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, though. Hi, I'm Ebert.
Hi, I'm Siskel.
Very good.
Yes.
Alright, so, originally I had no intention of actually reviewing this movie. I actually saw it by myself, and then...
I saw it, like, with family.
Yeah. See, your family actually wants to go see these movies.
Yes.
I can't drag my family to go see these movies. Like, no, that looks too depressing. You go.
Really? Oh.
My family is, I hate to use the term, the general audience. So they'll go see the Transformers movies in a heartbeat, but I can't get them to go see a dramatic movie to save my life.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, off topic. So we're here to talk about Nebraska, which is the newest Alexander Payne movie, who is one of my all-time favorite directors. He directed The Descendants, which I think was last year, wasn't it?
I think so.
And that's one of my all-time favorite films.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sideways.
Sideways is another great one, and of course, like About Schmidt and
Yes.
Election, which I haven't seen, but it's on my list.
Same here.
Anyway, like I said, I originally had no intention of doing this movie, but I put like a stats on Facebook about it because I loved it, and then Lauren messaged me on Facebook, like almost like we haven't seen her since Grown Ups 2.
Yes.
So it's one of those things. It's almost like Carmen Sandiego turned herself in.
That's a good reference.
Thank you, I tried. So she was like, "Hey, I saw it too. Let's do a review on it." It's like, okay. So now we're here at the radio station in the recording booth. If you remember, Lewis did one with me on this room too. But anyway, now let's get into the meat and bones of it. This was a pretty damn good movie.
It's excellent. It is delightful and sad, true to life.
And it has a fairly happy ending.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but like it's one of those movies. It's a hard movie to find in theaters right now. It's one of those kind of almost indie movies, even though it has like Oscar award-winning director.
Yeah.
And pretty much an Oscar award-winning cast.
Yeah.
But what it's basically about, first of all, it's a black and white movie, which I don't know if that's because of budget reasons or that's intentionally trying to say something about the movie.
Yeah, he did it intentionally.
That's what I thought.
His budget actually got cut because of it, because they were like, shoot it in color and then make it. I think that's actually what they did, but they were like, we don't want it in black and white.
Well, screw you, we're going to do what we want. It's like you're going to get this wide release anyway.
Yeah.
So, so it's a black and white movie, and I guess it's basically about an old guy played by, what was his name?
Brewster.
Bruce Stern. I don't know from too much. I know he was in that he had a bit part in Django.
Yeah, and he was in Alfred Hitchcock stuff. He played a lot of westerns in his early career. Like, he went on TV and
nice.
Did that, and then he did some Oscar award-winning films.
Either way, he plays our main character, Woody, a man of very few words, who gets this thing in the mail, which is obviously one of those scam artist things, where it says, "You've won $1 million, and I have to go to this location and pick up these subscriptions for these magazines in order to claim your prize."
Buy all the magazines we sell.
And just supposedly get $100, but he's convinced, like, absurdly convinced that this is the real deal. So he's making a beeline for Nebraska, whether anyone helps him or not. And the movie starts with him just walking up the side of the freeway.
Getting picked up by
the cops. Apparently, like, the first of many times this has happened. And then his son, what was his son's name?
David. And
David.
Played by the great Will Forte.
I don't know too much of his work. I mean, he did a really good job in this movie.
He did.
Basically, I finally just fed up with all the constant crap that goes his way. Finally, like, okay, fine, I'll take you Nebraska if it gets you to shut up for like 5 minutes. And so it's basically a road trip movie, essentially. But like, this is the thing that I love about Alexander Payne is that he makes dramas. He makes really really good dramas, but he never overplays his hand. If that makes any sense. Like, there are dramatic moments in there, but they're never over-dramatic. They very rarely ever get to the explosive moments like seen in a lot of other dramas. Like, they're not going to be screaming at each other for like 5 straight minutes. No, it's all very subtle. It's all very simple.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it great, because it makes them feel more human.
Yeah, I mean, the characters have humor to them.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of
good
good
humor. And that gives
humor.
them life, I think. It makes them a little bit more likable.
Well, it's like
than other drama.
I think, like, in comparison to other dramas, I mean, like, there are great characters in other dramas, but, like, you can tell they're kind of also characters. But in Alexander Payne movies, they feel human.
They could be real.
These are legitimate people going through legitimate struggles. Like, Descendant, that's why I love Descendant so much, is, like, George Clooney, in that movie, very rarely ever, like, gets to an explosive mode. Only, like, once or twice does he ever actually, like, get really, really mad. But other times, like, it's all contained. It's all told through subtle body language or, like, looks in the eye. Like, especially in this movie, whole stories are told through just like a simple sentence or a simple glance into a room.
Yeah, I think Will Forte and Bruce Dern in an interview, they were talking about how he directed, and Alexander Payne, he basically lets the camera roll for a very long time after the lines are finished, and he said they both said that that gave them a great room to explore just how the characters would interact.
And Woody is such a great, simple character because, like I said, he doesn't say much. Like most of he responds to like 1 to 2 word sentences.
What?
Like what? Like there's a great scene. Like I guess I should get some background a little bit. So David has a brother played by Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad.
Bob Odenkirk.
Which, by the way, great to see him in other work. By the way, I'm really glad he's actually found work after Breaking Bad was finally over. But eventually what happens is they stop by their old town, his dad's old hometown. Mm-hmm. And what was it called? Woodbury? Hawthorne? Hawthorne. I don't know why I get Woodbury. I think maybe I'm thinking Walking Dead. Why am I thinking Walking Dead? Maybe it's because like 90% of the cast are like over 50. I don't know. But that's another kind of great thing, and I think that's, and you might have your own theories about this, but I think like the great theme about the movie is really about the passage of time.
Yeah.
About getting older, and not necessarily about legacy, but just kind of almost like trying to find your place as you get older, or like trying to find out what it means or what you want to leave behind, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, what you want people to remember you about. It's not legacy, but it's just what you want to be in people's memories, I think.
Yeah, I think that's
I mean, that is legacy, but
yeah.
But I think he just wants people to, the end of the movie was really great.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because I saw it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they were driving through the town.
Oh, yeah, no,
We bought him the truck. And,
spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
Okay.
I just thought that was so adorable.
No, it was a great ending. That's another thing. Like, Alexander Payne endings are almost always, perfect. Like, you can't make them any better.
Yeah, it wasn't quite legacy. It was just showing the people in his town that he was more than what they thought he was. That was basically what it was. It's like unfinished business, in my mind.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. That's a good way to put it. Again, either way, it's about just a lot of it's about just perception.
Yeah.
Oh. Again, Trey, seriously?
Rainbow.
This is the second time we've been to record this room. The second time you bursted in on us.
Oh, you guys are recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you?
You want to say hi, Trey?
What did I want to do in here? My jacket.
What's up, Franco?
Hey, what's up, Lauren?
How are you?
Backpack. Just put my backpack.
It's right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
It's underneath the jacket.
Oh, right. I just saw that when I picked my jacket up. Okay. Okay, we'll be. When do you guys think you're gonna be done?
Probably like 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
We just got started, man.
We just got started.
Alright.
Tremio, okay.
That was a cameo. Tremio. That's actually really cool.
Lewis coined that term. Alright. Anyway, back to business. What we're talking about. Oh yeah, we're talking about time.
Talking about time. Yeah.
It's like, because I think that's kind of what the great things with. I think that's also kind of why it's black and white too. It's kind of get that purposeful, like, again, the passage of time and like what that means for different people.
Mm-hmm.
Like how his son perceives his dad, how his dad wants to be perceived by others.
Yeah.
And maybe, even how his wife perceives him. Wife who is.
Love June Squirrel.
I don't know. I find it really hard to like her until towards the very end.
She's so hilarious though.
She had a lot of funny lines sometimes. Like, she was such a bitch. For a good portion until again like the very end. Until you get the very end where there's that great scene. I'm not gonna give it away too much right now until later, but. Like, when you can tell, like, that, yeah, she's kind of a bitch, but she still loves him. Like, she still legitimately cares.
Well, I mean, she kind of, basically,
rips him apart for every chance she gets.
But when someone is doing that same thing, she defends him.
Yeah, and that was a great scene, too. And I kind of
you can tell that she loves him.
Well, why is everyone, like, sneaking in here? Alright, anyway.
Everyone's waving.
I'm like in here for one goddamn day, and all of a sudden everyone has to be looky-loo.
Anyway. The camera.
Anyway. So, also one very also little side note. It's a very minor thing. She only appeared in one scene, but it was that the David's ex-girlfriend in this movie was not like the skinny model.
I thought that was perfect. perfect.
I liked it too. I would say that
Yeah.
was a good thing because again, it's like you always see the guys like always somehow in Hollywood they all get like the absolutely gorgeous women. It's nice to see the more realistic version, but even though there's only one brief scene, but either way. So the majority of the movie is spent in was it Hawthorne?
Hawthorne, yeah. Hawthorne,
In the town of Hawthorne, where basically the Woody, who's the name of the main character, lets slip that he's won this $1 million, and everyone believes that it's true, even though it's complete horseshit.
Yeah.
And the whole movie is basically just basically how he kind of basks in the glow of that, but at the same time.
Do you think he really even believes that he won? I was wondering that whether.
No,
he
I
actually
think
believes.
I think he legitimately believed.
Really?
Because like, why? What other reason would he be so determined to get there? Especially there was that scene.
Change the perception.
Maybe,
So.
but at the same time, even when he's still in the town, he still wants to get out as soon as humanly possible. He makes that clear pretty much throughout.
To his son and
To his son, like, when are we leaving? Can we go now? Can we go
Yeah.
now? Like a little puppy dog, like now. But so I think he definitely believes it because the thing, like, he says he wants to buy two things with the money, and he makes a very point insistence over and over again. He wants to get a new truck, and he wants to get a air compressor.
Yes.
Those are the only two things he wants with this money. And the sons are so confused by this, like, why the hell do you want those things anyway? You can't even drive. They took your license away. And again, that's something that was also explained later on in the movie in a very touching scene between David and Woody.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a great little running joke that while they're in Hawthorne, Woody runs into like his old partner who is named what was his name again?
He was played by Stacy Keach.
I'm gonna call him Stacy for the
Stacey.
sake of argument because I forget his actual name. But
Pegram.
Pegram?
Ed Pegram.
Oh, Ed. Okay.
Ed Pegram.
I'll go. Who basically borrowed his old air compressor years ago but never returned it.
Yes.
And that leads to a hilarious scene where all the family comes down to Hawthorne to like it's basically like a family reunion type thing that like all family comes down from all over the place. Most of them are like over 50, so there's scene when they're watching like football in front of television and they all exchange like one-word sentences.
I love those scenes.
There's like, you get a new truck? Nope. And that's the whole conversation right there.
How long did it take you to go?
Yeah,
That was
like
funny.
the two redneck cousins of David's, two big guys. They're like, how long did it take to get from here to from wherever the hell they came from?
Billings, Montana.
Yeah, you're much better with names than I am.
It's okay.
But so there's like it took about like a day and a half, was it?
I think it was more than that to.
Yeah, like 2 days, something like
for
it.
750 miles, it was like 3 days.
Yeah, so 3 days.
Yeah,
so,
2 days.
So randomly, this kid's like, really? It took you that long? I could have made that in a day. And shit like that. So at random times, just go, 3 days to cross 750 miles. And shit like.
Poor David.
It has a great sense of humor on top of the dramatic moments. That's, again,
Yeah.
another great element of Alexander Payne. He knows how to balance those two elements well.
Mm-hmm.
But the one scene I just lost it was, by the way, when I saw this, I was the only person in the theater that was maybe under the age of 35. So that should tell you what kind of movies I usually go for. Anyway,
Same here.
so they're driving back down from their old hometown, which is from Woody's old house, which I'll get to that in a bit, because that was a great fucking scene. And they're driving by this old house. They say, like, hey, that's Ed's house. So the brothers look at each other like, you think what I'm thinking? Yeah. So they pull over, and they run to the barn, and they pull out an air compressor. Sorry. Hi, Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
Want to say hello? We're just getting a cameo from everyone today. I can't get you guys to do movie for shit, but I can get you to version in this room, no problem.
Whoa, buddy, I'm out of town. Did I barge in the room? Or, wait for it, did I come in like a wrecking ball?
I'm sorry.
God damn it, Patrick.
I'm doing great.
I'm not gonna live that down. Alright. I have no regrets.
I have no regrets. You shouldn't have any.
I have no regrets. That shit's gonna go viral, you watch.
It should.
Anyway. So they steal this air compressor, throw it in the car, and they drive away, thinking they stole back like Woody's old air compressor. He goes, so you happy you get your air compressor back, Dad? He goes, that's not my compressor. And he goes, sure it is, it has to be. He's like, no it's not. And he goes, well then why didn't you say anything? I thought you wanted it. Dad, why would you want an old air compressor? That's what I couldn't figure out.
And then they go and
And they have to run back. Meanwhile, like,
the people come.
okay, hold it. Yes.
This is so
Hey,
entertaining.
we're actually recording something.
So entertaining.
What are you recording?
A review. This one's convenient place to do it.
Yeah.
We need to work on something.
Right now?
Yeah, well, we're gonna. I mean, this.
Give me 5 minutes.
Okay.
We can always move and start over.
So we're gonna have to relocate.
We're gonna have to relocate.
Okay. So intermission.
Boom. Movie magic.
Or improvising. Take
Yes.
your turn. Okay, so now we're in an empty classroom.
Let's start the story over of stealing the air compressor.
I think we pretty much went over the best part of
Yeah,
it, so I don't
yeah.
think we need to go over it again. But anyway, the scene before that happens was a part where they're in. Oh yeah, on a whim, it's the son's side. They want to go see their dad's old home, so they go see this old room. And this is in my opinion like easily like the best scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Because I almost cried. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Because again, this is where like Alexander Payne's directing style just works so well, and this is just one scene alone. Because again, Woody doesn't say much. Like again, like whole stories and whole like events are just told through like just a simple sentence or a fleeting glance.
That's how he was taught,
Yeah.
Stern, but yeah, I just love.
But
how
like
that is.
they're going through this house and he's kind of talking about like just simple stuff like he built it from scratch, stuff like that.
Mhm.
But then they go to his old room and there's a part where it's like he had like a younger baby brother that died very early on in his age, and the son's just simply asks like, well, were you there? And there was like a pause and he just says, I was do you remember that? He goes, I was there. And like
Yes.
that tells a whole story right there. Like
Yeah.
nothing more needs to be said than that.
Just the sadness in his
And
face.
it's like that, it tells you all you need to know is with those simple words and the simple look on his face. And like even then, like the moment when he like looks back for like a brief second at the room before moving on, just speaks volumes more than any like huge piece of dialogue I've ever done.
Yeah.
And that's what, it's so subtle, it's so simple, and that's like, Alexander Payne I think is one of those directors who knows that like, you could do so much by doing very, very little.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about his style, because like a lot of directors feel they have to overstate everything, they have to exploit everything. Here, no, it's like we're gonna keep it simple, we're gonna do a lot by doing that.
Yeah.
And again, that's what I love about his directorial style.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, again, these are just great characters. These are great, likable characters. and you root for them from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And like, there's a part where, like, of course, now that they think he's come to this great big money, all the family now wants a cut of it, pretty much, and friends basically goes around and mooch off him, including like the brothers who like eventually end up stealing the piece of paper and later realize it's a scam. And email. Even then, like, the wife really kind of comes into her own towards the third act, I think it was when the family kind of ambushes the brothers asking for they want a cut of this, they want a cut of that, and so like, and the mother goes, screw you guys, you're not getting shit from him.
Yeah, and then
Pretty
they
much.
go.
And then Mrs. like, if you want to try to take me on, go for it. I'll like bring it. Come on, let's do this.
That's what I love about her. She just speaks her mind. It's just so
a little too
hilarious.
much.
A little
but,
too much.
like at the graveyard scene, I was like, dude, quit kicking the guy. Because she keeps saying all these awful things about his family members. I was like, wow.
That was funny though.
I don't know. I thought it was a little mean-spirited, personally. But
I think June Squibb said of her character that she speaks as she's speaking.
yeah, I guess.
She has no filter.
Clearly
kind
not.
of very literal.
But earlier on in the movie,
Yeah.
Woody gets into an accident, and he has to go to the hospital. He gets like stitches on his forehead because he cut himself pretty bad.
Yes.
But that comes into play later, and like after the piece of paper that he thinks is the winning ticket gets stolen, you go back to the bar where he thought he left it, and they find it. Except Ed found it first, and basically makes a point to publicly humiliate him in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And it was this, at that point, like, oh my god, like this again, same thing. So much said by doing very little. Where all what he does, he just goes up, grabs it, and walks out the door. That's all he does. And yet there's such a sadness to it. There's like such a depth there.
Yeah.
And the son did what I was hoping would happen. He goes up and punches that bastard in the face.
Yes. That was a great moment.
And I was like, yes.
Great moment.
suck that bastard. But again, so much is told just by other, like Woody's story is mostly told through other characters.
Yeah.
Like Ed, who he tells him how he convinced him to stay with his current wife instead of going with what he racially called a half-breed, which is
Terrible.
that filled me all kinds of uncomfortable bubbles.
Yes, and just David's Will Forte's expression there is like, "You did what to the father?"
Yeah, just like, why would you have her stay with that? But either way, it's stuff like that, and like when he runs into the newspaper editor, who turns out to be like was an ex-flame of
Yes.
Woody's. Again, a lot of great subtext there too. Like at the end of the day, like Woody is a very simple guy, and the movie makes a point to kind of emphasize that he just wants to make other people happy, pretty much.
Yeah, I think Bruce Dern, he had a great description of his character. He said, in baseball stadiums, they have those big lights.
Yeah.
And he said that Woody had a couple of those turned off, and he was at a night game, so he didn't get that much through.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I thought that was a great description.
No, that's a pretty good way of putting it. Like, he's not the brightest bulb. I mean, he's getting older in years. But again, it's hard not to like him towards the end of the movie. Like, you don't really know how to make him at first, but it's really hard not to root for him towards the very end, even though you know exactly how the whole Nebraska thing's going to end up. As long as you get there, it turns out it's actually real and just nobody believed it.
Yeah.
He gets there, and of course they say, oh, you're not technically a winner because your number wasn't chosen, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's still a great movie because at the end of the day, the son, who again has learned so much about his father up to this point, goes up, buys him the new truck, buys him the air compressor. The movie ends him with driving down the road to his hometown, as everyone kind of looks on like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, really?
David's hiding,
yeah,
hunching over.
Like after when he goes, get down, just get down. It's like, okay. Like, okay, fine. But it goes like he wants to be seen as something, whether it's to his family or to everyone else, but he wants to be seen as something, I think, bigger than himself.
Yeah, I don't think many people either looked up to him or respected him.
No, because he kind of got stepped on by everybody.
Yeah, and he wanted that to be changed. He kind of wanted to stand up for himself in some way.
Yeah, and there's a part where they think they lost a ticket, and Woody kind of gets in despair for a little bit. And basically, something like, this is complete farce, right? Like, none of this is actually going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's basically like, well, I want to leave something for you guys, very much, and stuff like that. It's like he just wants to mean something.
Yeah, he wants something to give.
Yeah, like he just wants to mean something to somebody, whether it's his sons or town people, whatever. He just wants to feel relevant.
Yeah.
And especially since now they keep talking about putting him in a home and stuff like that. But I know, it makes you sad when you think about it, because if we forget they're people too, it's kind of harsh to think about it, but it's kind of true, isn't it? Like, especially if people get older, we forget that they're people first.
I think some people do.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, I mean, I'm speaking too generally here, but I mean, a lot of people do, at least the ones that I've seen. It's kind of like especially with like older drivers, easy to dismiss them. Again, it's like anyone else that's not in your particular group. It's hard. It's easy to forget that they're people. I mean, I know that sounds really harsh, and it makes me sound kind of like an asshole. But I'm not saying I view it this way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's hard to get get perspective on people that you don't quite understand. So it's easy to kind of categorize, which is kind of harsh to say. Again, harsh to say, but it's what people do.
Yeah, they stereotype.
Yeah, there you go. Like I'm gonna get horrible comments. Like, I work at senior centers, and
some people do that. Oh, I mean, you don't view people that way.
No, I don't. But like I've seen a lot of people who have, and it's easy to do.
Elderly or people that need extra help actually need to be treated better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's what I'm trying to say, rather insensitively. But that's what I'm trying to say.
That's why you have another person.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I've so many.
I think Alexander Payne, he was talking about that.
Dealing
with older relatives and having to deal with things like homes and other stuff like that in interviews. So I mean, it's not an easy subject to talk about.
No, it's not.
It's a harder subject to make a movie out of and make it so great and make people not be stereotyped.
It is a fantastic movie because again, like all the people here are people. They feel human. They feel like they're going through these real struggles.
And did you know that a lot of these actors that played, the secondary characters were actually people from rural Nebraska? They were non-actors.
So just go into a bar and goes, "Who wants to be a movie for $20?"
He does that a lot in his movies.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But and like even again, especially in the end scene, there's a lot of great little moments. Again, just especially, I think the one that really stuck out to me was like the wide-eyed glance that Woody got when he saw like his old flame walk out of the newspaper stand. again, just a whole story, like a whole history expressed in just one simple look, and I love that. That's my favorite kind of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Is people who can pull that off and pull it off so majestically. Because again,
capture that.
It just captures that. It has a great heart to it. It has a great cast. It's just a great movie.
Yeah.
And it's still in theaters now. I looked it up yesterday.
It is.
You can still track it down. I highly recommend that you do before it disappears. Worst case, buy it on DVD. Support this movie.
Buy it on DVD. Go see it. Go see it multiple times.
Just support this movie, and that's what it comes down to. Is like I just saw this because I wanted to see it. I had no intention of actually doing a review on it, but
Same here.
yeah. So it's like just go see the fucking thing.
Yeah, I think I just have to say that all the actors did an excellent job.
Yeah, absolutely.
That a lot of people are saying that Will Forte is getting out of comedy because he basically has done lots of comedy. And
Which one's Will Forte?
David.
Okay, yeah.
And I think he just did an excellent job.
I think he did a great job.
I mean, it's already apparent in his comedy work that he can do so many different things.
I mean, a lot of the movie is about like kind of discovering Woody through David's eyes.
Yeah, and the discovery of David and what his life could be, or what changes he could do. Because I saw a lot of that.
I think you saw more than I did, but I guess I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, the focus was primarily on Woody, but yeah, David had a lot of growth on it too.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm kind of wondering how he's going to pay off that truck, that air compressor.
Well, didn't he trade his car?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did that.
Subaru in front.
Yeah, that's more like, wow, I didn't know you made that much selling stereo equipment. But either way, that's all I got. You got anything left?
I just think everyone did an excellent job.
Yeah.
Bruce Dern.
It's better than Grown Ups 2. Yeah. So there's that rain endorsement. Granted, Lobotomy is better than Grown Ups 2, but yeah, I think that's about it. So we'll be back tomorrow with Grown Up, and not Grown Ups 2.
Grown Ups.
Might as well be Anchorman 2.
Anchorman 2.
People who've watched my channel
Pain expression.
know that my hate for the first Anchorman is infamous. Because I'm like one of maybe like 10 people who publicly hate the movie. I know there's a lot more people, I've talked to several of them, but I'm the only one that's made my opinion as openly known as I have, and have received the ever-loving shitstorm of complaints that I like hate because of it. I don't care, I still stand with my opinion. Either way, I'm gonna see it, you're probably gonna like it, so you're probably gonna disagree with me. So watch and hate me on that video tomorrow. So,
Cool.
That's all we got?
Also, there's an indie movie that Will Forte is in called Run and Jump.
Which one's that one?
Run and Jump. I don't know when it's coming out. I think it's coming out next year. I just thought I should mention it.
We'll add it to the list.
It's really indie. You should check it out.
Yeah.
Put it on your list. But
Like a million lists of
a
just
million movies.
like I'm trying to like get people in next to go see him. Hey guys, he wants to see this piece of shit. I'll pay for your ticket. No, anyway, that's all I got. So thank you for joining me again, Lauren. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
And we'll see you all tomorrow, the next day.